So I want to do a really quick walk around video of the G500 and try to point out any imperfections on it, kind of point out things that set it apart from a lot of the other ones that are available. We'll start with under the hood. You can see that it's really, really well kept. We've got stacks and stacks of service records on this one. And the best thing being that it's one owner. So somebody bought this back in 2004 and committed to keeping it a really long time, 218,000 miles. So that's somebody who took really, really good care of this car. And I say that because I've seen, 50, 100 of these. This is probably the nicest of this age that I've come across. So one thing you'll want to check out when you are looking for these is that this VDO gauge always goes out. You'll see that it's kind of faded and it's hard to read, but this one is crisp and brand new. All of the functions on it work. You can see that the engine idles perfectly smooth, and more so, there's no air lights or anything on the dash. If I rev it up. Engine isn't warmed up, so I don't want to give it too much, but you go in here and see that there's no noise or tapping from the injectors. No idler pulleys or anything that is squeaking. Runs absolutely perfect. And another thing, the biggest thing with this car is a lot of you probably know that we rust. So check it here. All along those edges. So moving on to the exterior, a little bit of the usual chipping. I mean, it's so subtle, it's kind of hard to see, but I want to try to point out every possible imperfection on this thing, just so that there's no surprises if you have it shipped to you. I know most of the cars that I sell do go across the country, and so I want to be really, really detailed with these videos. Again, none of the rust that you usually see on these things. The tailpipe is dirty, of course, and they're all going to do that. If you drive in rain, any dirt in that rain, burns onto the pipe. But that's standard. A wonderful G-Wagon door close noise. The only mechanical imperfection that we've been able to find on this car is that these back doors are intermittent. Right now, they work fine, but when we got it, these doors weren't working from the outside, but they were working from the inside. And so we figured that the latch mechanism or something may have broke. And so we took both the door panels off on both sides, couldn't find anything broke, couldn't find anything wrong with them, put the doors back together, and they work fine. So not quite sure what that was, but again, I try to just list every possible thing. There is little scratches there. Again, I mean, they're so subtle you really can't pick them up, but this is a ding on the spare tire cover, so might be able to have a paintless dent repair guy replace that, especially because you can get under this really easy, or possibly just find another one. So another thing that I did was I left the license plate cover off. These things are usually just cancer rusted, and then you'll just see that it begins causing all kinds of problems down here in the bottom of the rear hatch, and there's none there. And then of course, if we go under, this is the biggest thing with these G-Wagons, is they all suffer from rust if they've had any kind of exposure. So you really, really want to make sure. In fact, I'll do another lap and show some of the common areas where you'll see that. I do have one ding there on that rear corner. Looks like somebody bumped it in the parking lot. We'll go through here again. Frame rails, super clean. All the suspension joints, super clean. Tires still have good tread on them as well. I'll pop over here and show you. That was one of the most important things when I was shopping for one of these. That you'll see, again, doors working. Down here you'll get a lot of rust. All of these under panels. Those are in great shape. so it does have a sunroof. See that this top rail isn't rusted at all. One spot that we always see is right here from the drainage channels will cause all kinds of messes here as far as rust goes. It does have some of the light little rock chipping, so I want you to be aware of that. Otherwise, no rust. And you can see how just straight everything is in the car. No accidents. Again, one owner. When I saw that, I thought this had to be the one for me. You know, the missus and I have been driving this one around for probably about 4 months or so, I want to say. And so this isn't just an inventory car for us. This is actually a personal car that we were both using the whole time that we've had it. So we did go through, we did a deep compound on any individual scratches around the whole car, and then we did a light finishing polish across all of it, and actually sealed that paint with a ceramic infused sealant. So you've got some really, really good gloss and protection on there as well. I'll probably take the car actually out into the sun and take another video so you can see that. Nothing to show it quite in the shade here, but moving to the inside. With these G-Wagons, always check that headliner. They're almost all sagging. That's a really common thing on those. It's not the end of the world if they are. You pull down the whole entire headliner, take it to an upholstery shop, have them reupholster it, and then you can put a new one in. See, everything's in good shape. It does have the CD changer if you still got any CDs floating around. And then this is the cargo cover, so you can cover all your cargo. Rear wiper works. Still has the spare tire, obviously. And we do have the keys, these locking keys for the spare tire cover. A lot of times those go missing as well. You know, once you start bouncing around a couple of owners, those go MIA. Interior is in really, really great shape. Again, we've been using this one. I should have probably done a little bit better job cleaning it, but again, this is actually our car that we daily drive. She had her dirty shoes, so this isn't stained, that's just us using it during the weekend here. I'll get that cleaned up obviously before it gets put on the truck. Another big thing on these sticky buttons, all of these will get really gummy and mucky. You can see that all of these are actually in perfect shape. Vents are clean, nothing stuck in the crevices. And another big thing, both keys. In 2004, so we're looking at 16 years old. Little things like that always go missing over time. But the keys are there. I've actually got the manuals are inside on the shelf. But manuals, these are the keys for that spare tire carrier that we talked about. I think that's the CD changer info. I'm doing this a little bit off the cuff, obviously. I really wasn't prepared to make a perfect video, but I wanted to kind of show you guys everything possible about the car, everything bad, everything good, and hopefully answer any of your questions. Cup holder, does have the laundry basket, and power seats, everything works. It's another thing that I'll go through and show. So we have had the front windows tinted, and then the windshield actually does have a light tint as well on it. Blocks a ton of UV, but we went with a really light shade so that it doesn't really affect the visibility at night or anything. Show you that this seat works. And then at the windows. All the lights work, wipers. In fact, power adjustable steering wheel works. It's got 3 really light cracks. I mean, I almost can't even really feel them. but since this is, you know, so exposed to the UV, that usually cracks really quick on these. Adjustable bolsters, ashtray. Actually, I'll show you. Look at that. I mean, just unheard of on a G-Wagon of this era. So AC, heat, all of that works, of course. Stereo nav is all original. I know a lot of people will redo these for Apple CarPlay and whatnot, so that is an option if you wanted to go that route. You can do the full Bluetooth and CarPlay and everything else. Let me push them there. So yeah, there are going to be cheaper G-Wagons out there. I'm sure a lot of you see the miles and, you know, get scared by that. This is really one of a kind to have this kind of condition with that mileage and this age on this car. If you've got any questions, you know, shoot me a call or text. Text and email is best for me. I'm usually running around. But, you know, let me know. I'd be happy to take photos or videos or, you know, anything in detail for you that you'd like. And then, yeah, let me know if you got any questions. Appreciate it. Oh, did I get one more ding? There we go. Yeah, looks like there's one ding right there too as well. Just trying to see if there were any others. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys.